I love the idea of, as a CIO as well, being a value add. And, you look at these great examples like AWS, and first it's like, hey, we need infrastructure, right? So they build it out for this, online bookseller. And then they say, hey, we're doing this so well, I'll bet other people want it. And look where it is today.
Right.
It's just incredible. And I think we need to be thinking about that. How do we incrementally add value? And from a security standpoint, as a education and research institution, there are opportunities. So one of those is piracy, which is a big issue for us. We have lots of people distributing content through torrent sites. We have people who are actually spoofing Wiley sites and redistributing content through them. Authors will actually go to fake sites and submit their content and lose any control of that content. And this is a bit scary to me because it impacts researchers and authors, right, who don't get compensated because people aren't thinking, they're just thinking, hey, I want free content. Sure, that's great. But they're not thinking about the researchers and the authors. And they're not thinking about the impact to innovation, where maybe a researcher says, yeah, I'm not going to look into that because my content is getting stolen and there's no compensation there, right? So in doing that, we're actually hampering, if we're allowing piracy, we're actually hampering innovation, we're hampering creativity. And there's a real opportunity for security in partnership with our content creation team to really improve that. And my hope is, and one of the other reasons I love being at Wiley is because we're an educational and research institution. And my hope is that in reducing piracy, we can actually reduce the cost of education and make it more globally available. And what a cool thing to be able to be part of than making education and research more accessible at a lower cost to more people. Like, ultimately, that's where we get to. We start with, let's talk about CI/CD and DevSecOps and compliance as code. But when you come out the other end, it's about making the world a better place through education and research. And it's a privilege to be able to be part of that and drive that forward through technology.
Yeah, it seems like a huge opportunity for you. I mean, I was listening to a show the other day, and the guy's like, well, do we really need a college education anymore? And the guy is actually the author. It was the author of *Sapiens*. So
Okay.
Yuval. Okay, so he sold like, I think 12 million copies of his book. It's just stunning.
Wow.
And he goes, listen, we don't really know. We don't really know the impact of traditional education, but we do know is that you're going to have to continuously learn. You're going to have to continuously learn. And
Right.
So, it couldn't be a better market for Wiley to be in right now. But to your point, I listened to Ballmer talk many years ago at a Microsoft conference. He's like, if we just recovered half of the money of the software licenses that were stolen from us, we would double the size of the company. And so, do you remember those back in the days of Microsoft?
Yeah, absolutely.
On licensing and stuff. And so I think it's a big deal. And all of a sudden now a great defense at Wiley can actually contribute to offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Contribute to top line and profits and drive the whole creative. Obviously now the content creators get paid exponentially, drive the cost down, and maybe have more content creators. And I don't know how you do digital rights management, in your world, but it's certainly a problem worth solving, right?
Right. Well, and there are absolutely lessons we can take from other industries that have dealt with the same problem. You look at music, you look at video. I think there are so many changes, some of them as simple as doing better at digital rights management, some of them about
blockchain,
back to IAM and authentication. But there's a lot of opportunities to basically help drive forward education and research.
What about blockchain for you guys, like a private blockchain?
Certainly something to think about. Not one we're exploring yet, but maybe I'll bring it up with the team.
Yeah, that's that to me seems like from a scalability perspective, the way to scale and have multiple ways to vet that. Now, pure blockchain, probably not, but pure blockchain, the way I interviewed this guy on my podcast 3 years ago, Don Tapscott, and he was the top guy in blockchain. He goes, listen, blockchain is just IP of the internet. It's just internet protocol.
Right. Yeah.
Because IP does nothing without applications built on it. But I could see Sean now out there building his own Wiley blockchain app,